Good day and welcome to the channel. In this short video, we are going to explain how to change the water filter on a fridge, in particular this Hisense fridge. Now, there's a couple of things you want to know before you do that. The first of which is, are there any catches? And yes, there's a catch. We'll show you. We'll get to it in a minute when we change it out. But the very first thing you need to know is what kind of filter to buy. Now, there are lots of different filters out there, and some of them are downright scammy. So it's important that you get the right one for your water type. I live in Calgary. The water here is fine. So I can probably get away with the lowest water filter grading. However, I did purchase a Hisense. Now, why did I do that? Well, let's show you what to look for in a water filter. As you can see here, the standard certification for these things is NSF. And there's an NSF 42 and an NSF 53 standard that these water filters are commonly built to meet. The NSF 42 is mostly for things like color and clarity, and basically it's filtering out chunks of things, but it's not really getting rid of dangerous chemicals. And there are some exceptions. So for instance, if you live in Georgia, where PFAS is a big issue, well, even the bottom filter, the NSF 42 filters, they will filter out 95% of PFAS. If you don't know what PFAS is, don't worry about it. But it's a very scary forever chemical that if it gets into your body, it doesn't get out. However, the NSF 42s don't get rid of even lead. So if you're in parts of Michigan, and I think you know what I'm talking about, Michiganders, you probably want to go with the NSF 53s. Now, beyond that, there are two additional standards that have come out. One is the NSF 401, and that's for emerging contaminants. Things that we think are going to be problems in the future, or we will define as problems in the future, but they're problems now. And there's also an NSF 58, which is a reverse osmosis filter that will get rid of things like fluoride, if you, for some reason, don't want fluoride in your water. Personally, I love fluoride in my water, but I digress. Let's move past that. And those numbers get to what you should look for on the packaging. There are phrases you should look for and phrases you should avoid if you're not buying the fridge manufacturer OEM filter. So let's go through those very quickly because there's some really sneaky stuff out there. The first is look for the NSF certified name with the logo. That's the gold standard. Then there's ones that say tested to NSF standards. So in other words, they ran a test, doesn't mean they passed them, and it doesn't mean that they're certified. It just means that they ran it through the test. Are they okay? Probably, but I wouldn't bet my life on it if I was in a place with dodgy water. There's also phrases like meets NSF 53 and NSF 42 standards. Again, that's just vague stuff saying, it'll probably work. And then there are ones that are just downright fraudulent. So you'll see things like, meets NSF 379 standard. The NSF 379 standard doesn't exist. It's just a higher number, so you think it's better. So for most people, just stick with the NSF 42s and the NSF 53s. By the way, everything I've said here applies also to, the pure water filters for your tap or Brita filters for your jug. And that's the reason why Brita and Pur, as an example, have two different filters that sure look the same, but are wildly different costs. One of them is the NSF 42, the other is the NSF 53. And the NSF 53, that filters out things like lead, mercury, asbestos, well, they're going to be more expensive. Now, if you are going to try to save a buck and use something other than the original manufacturer OEM fridge branded filters, really is something you should look for. And that is a large, long-standing brand. And the two that we can recommend are the Swift Green and Water Sentinel. By the way, none of this is sponsored, so if you like the video, big thumbs up would be super appreciated. Yes, they're more expensive than some super cheap knockoffs. They're also going to ensure that you don't die from drinking your water in some places. So it's worth the extra, 20% to get a branded knockoff like Swift Green or Water Sentinel. Now that gets to a good point. If you think you can stretch it out, well, you probably can. I live by myself, so these water filters are good for 2 to 300 gallons. They'll actually tell you what they're rated for of water. I'm not going through that much water through the fridge in the 6-month period that these fridges take before they start putting up that alert. So can you stretch out your fridge water filter? Yeah. If you're living by yourself or in a small family, yeah, between 6 months and 9 months, you're probably just fine. But once you get to close to a year, you're getting into what the water industry calls desorption, which is where the water passing through the filter actually has contaminants added to it. So you're putting out water through your fridge with contaminants that are higher than what's in the natural water. So look, don't push it past a year. So at the start of this, I caution you against just changing the filter. And that's because Hisense in particular says that what you need to do is pull the fridge out and turn the water line off. Now, if you've ever worked with water lines, you know that moving it is seldom a good idea. Modern Hisense fridges, they're like my GE fridges that I've had in the past. You simply twist the old one out. However, the Hisense has more pressure, and so it's harder to take it out. So if you're really having trouble removing the filter, which I would be shocked at, then pull the fridge out, turn the water line off, but I'm going to rely on the bypass that's built into the filter mechanism. On this Hisense RF225 French Door fridge that I've got here, when we try and get some water, this little cube icon shows up. And what that's telling you is that, yeah, your water filter's good. Now, I looked at that and I actually thought it was for my ice maker because, you know, it sure looks like an ice cube tray to me. First thing to do is get your new filter ready. Take any plastic off of it. Open your door. There's a handle under here. Pull out, down, pull this down a little bit so you get your hand on it. And there's going to be pressure on this one. So turn it to the left and pop it out. Then take your new one, put it in, turn it to the right, and you'll hear it charge. Push it up, done. Well, you think you're done, but you're not. Now, these water filters are carbon-based. So while you can ingest anything that comes out of these water lines in your fridge, they're kind of gross. So the carbon's not going to hurt you, but it doesn't look very nice. And often when you charge a new filter, little bits will come loose. So what you want to do is just run it. Now, the manufacturers say run it from 2 to 3 gallons. So let's just, for easy math, call it 10 to 15 liters, which just boils down to run it for a minute until there's nothing gross coming out of it. That spurting is just the air coming out of the filter. Totally expected. So I can see a few small particulates in this, nothing to worry about. I'm going to run it a few more times, but I won't bore you with that. Let's show you how to reset the alarm on the fridge. Every fridge is different, but on the Hisense, it's simply to press and hold the eco button for, I think it's 3 seconds. There it is, it just beeped. And it stopped flashing. So if you think that the filter has some sort of electronic mechanism that's talking to this control, it's not. This is purely a timer. You have to reset that or that alarm's going to go on forever. So hey, if you found the video useful, if you learned something, I'd really appreciate the big thumbs up. Subscribe's also always appreciated. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can always get a hold of us directly at www.urtech, that's www.urtech.ca. Thanks and have a great day. Bye-bye.